Hello and welcome to Yoga with Laura Ashlyn. I appreciate when you hit that subscribe button and share with your friends or share on the other social medias our videos. Today's video will be some movements. It says yoga for hips, but really they are separate movements to help loosen up the hips a little bit. So you can certainly aim your mat perpendicular towards your TV set or your iPad, because I'm going to have my back to you so that you can see this motion of the hip stretching. So here we go. Welcome. Your hip muscles, mostly besides the ilium, you've got a lot of tendons in the plates of the pelvic bowl. But the hip muscles that we're going to be working today are horizontal muscles that attach out to the plate, the pelvic plate, or to the top of the leg bone, and they come from spine. So these muscles are horizontal. Another muscle issue is the TFL. It's tensor fascia lata, and it crosses over the top of the thigh. And where the tendon attaches to the bone is a very short little tendon, and that's often where we feel very tight in the hip, is to open up this tendon a little bit. So in our hip openers today, we're going to be taking the legs out to the side and across the body with our strap. So make sure you do have some kind of a strap with you, a belt, a tie is really not long enough, but a bathrobe or a belt seems to work, or a nice martial arts strap, or possibly a yoga strap. They can be purchased just about anywhere. So you do want it long enough that you are reaching with your arm, and any range of stretch in your leg is yours. It's not about how far up you're going to get your foot. It is how long we're going to hold there and get into this nice passive stretching. So again, we are working the horizontal hip muscles, the diagonal TFL, where this very tight here. It's going to seem like we're stretching out the top of the IT band when we cross over, but this IT band is such good, strong fascia, cartilage, tissue that it really doesn't have much of a stretch. It stretches a little lower, but right up here it's pretty wide. So we're going to work on the small tendons on the edges of the hip. So here we go. Make sure you're nice and flat on your back. We will work with the breath. I'll guide you into the breath in a moment. The first thing you're going to do is get that strap on the ball of the foot. We've had these tutorials in the past with other videos. You don't want the toes, those little tiny bones, and you certainly try to avoid the arch of the foot, the tendons. If we're pressing constantly all the time, they can become inflamed. You could do the heel, but notice the angle. The heel's a little odd here, especially for the holding. So the ball of the foot seems to be just about best. That's powerful. You are going to press the ball of the foot into this strap. And you will rearrange your arm on your strap, whatever is comfortable. If you are able to get your foot all the way up here, and you're not going to bring your strap here, unless you have a shoulder issue and you want nice support from elbow to wrist. So you're going to lengthen the arm. Well, look how close I am to my toes. So if you're more here, see how that's stretching. It's going to go in tandem with where in that degree of arc your foot is. This leg is an option. Your left leg, opposite leg, can be foot right in the mat, very powerful leg. This is the mobile leg. This is going to be your stable leg. So you can certainly keep a bent knee, something underneath your knee to keep it maybe partially bent, partially straight. Or you can go ahead and lengthen the leg straight out. All those ranges and choices are yours. And I offer all of that because as you evolve in your practice, you will have lots of choices, and the ranges get a little deeper, a little longer, and so on. So to begin, foot up in the air, prepare an inhale, exhale. Soften the back body into the mat. Another one as you exhale, drop in. If you've chosen a straight left leg, that ankle is flexed, your toes are spread, you have a very strong foot. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, we're going to take that leg out to the side. Now this can be any amount. Your range from shoulder down to the ankle, and that arc is wherever your leg will allow you to stretch. You can also have a bolster or a pillow or a couple of blocks to rest your foot on, or rest the calf on, or you can even pull it up tight and rest the thigh. Now, even though this right side is winging out, my left side is not rolling with it. It's going to attempt to roll to the left. So my whole left side body is doing a slight roll toward the curtain. Your wrist is holding strong here. Your grip shouldn't be too grippy. If you get a cramp in the hand, release that grip a little bit. Let the blood flow, let the muscles relax a little bit, and then come back to a fairly firm grip. You still want the muscles of the hand to remain strong. My left arm coming out to the left will help maintain weight to the left. It's drawing some of that energy away from this right kick out. For now, I would certainly leave your head in neutral. You're looking right up at the sky. Your chin is tiny dropped, but not much. You should feel both shoulder blades on the mat. Relax your body with your exhale. Make sure that your wrist is straight and not turned or twisted or arced, that it almost feels like it's in a wrist brace. And if you chose the option to lift your head and look to the left, you certainly may. Again, that's more body energy, body structure going to the left, because that's where the work is. We feel like we're stretching out the right side, but you are actually giving quite a stretch to the left side of these horizontal hip muscles. About another 30 seconds or so, so that could be 3 nice deep breaths. Relax the body. The floor has you. Holding patience. We'll get deeper stretches and we'll begin to loosen some of the tight areas of our body. When you're ready, this left leg is very strong. It presses into the mat. Your toes flare up to the ceiling. Inhale. Let the arm and foot come up together, but it's also coming from core. Right about here, I want you to go ahead and have a nice moment of kind of settling in. We're not going to take it off to the other side so quickly. Now you're just going to swap your hands out. So I took my right hand away, replaced it with the left hand. I want you to go ahead and bend that left foot in if it wasn't already bent in. Pick up your hip, shift it just a couple inches to the right. Re-lengthen the left leg, and everything rolls. My leg, which I was trying to get you to see the fan version of this, but if you'll notice, my left leg is also rolling. The knee, the foot, everything is rolling toward that white curtain. The only thing that would try to remain a little flatter would be your shoulder blades, getting a great twist in the thoracic, not so much twist in the low back. This is more thoracic twisting, which is your rib cage. And again, if the foot's not going to make the carpet, it doesn't matter, or your mat. You could put a pillow under there and rest the leg, or use the traction and the grip between hand, strap, and foot. Now this seems like this IT is stretching. However, it really is lower in the IT band that's getting a great stretch. Don't overdo. If you're feeling it's getting tight and tension is happening, of course, put your breath with it. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice, relaxed breath will soften that body. However, you can also put your foot on it, raise it up on a block. So about 30 more seconds. The first one is always the kind of the most challenging one, right? You're warming up. You'll see a big difference in the second one. Press the long left limb into the floor. Almost push the side of your foot into the floor, and you feel your hip lift up even. Then take an inhale and bring up that right leg. Change hands, swap out the hands. Bend the left leg, pick up the hips, and reshift into neutral. Now here is a yummy part, don't forget. We're going to take it leading with the heel, extending the toes towards my heart. I'm taking it all the way down long into the mat. And then press like you're putting your foot on the gas pedal or the brake pedal. Press straight ahead. So I want you to shift that hip, ball, and socket downward toward the short line of the mat. One more set. 2 or 3, maybe 4 at the very most is all you need to do. We're just going to do 2 today. And certainly now that you have this information, you can do it every day. You can do it as many times as you wish. Inhale, we bring up that right leg. Exhale as I lengthen the left leg down. Very powerful muscles. I want you to contract the muscles in that left leg. That is your support and your stability to ground in as you take an exhale and open up the right side. Big difference. Look how softer, look how more, obviously warmer, and the range is a lot deeper or wider, and you're much more relaxed. So about 1.5 minutes to 2 at the most per leg movement. What happens if you pull the belly in and get it a little tighter? Did it shift the hips? Did it draw the right hamstring muscles back up into the glutes? The front of your right leg is contracted muscle. The back of your right leg is lengthening muscle. The left leg is same. Flexed foot gives me both. Yoga toe can give me even more. Few good breaths here before we change. About 30 more seconds. This also will strengthen your wrist, and we're not on it. We're not putting our body weight on it. We're not working with gravity. But we are working with isometric torque. We're working with strength. Great way to strengthen the wrist. When you're ready, you can bring up that left foot if you wish. Bend the left leg or keep it straight. And inhale, drop your belly in for core. Switch sides. So I want to rest this hand that's been gripping, but it's really good for strength of the muscle in the hand. Inhale, pick up the hip, shift it to the right a little bit. This is our second set, our final set on this right leg. Now I'm going to lengthen my left leg so it's out of the way for the roll. Take everything over, the hip, the side of the leg. Your kneecap should be facing off the left side. Toe facing same direction as kneecap. This is a very flexed ankle, a nice right ankle in the left side. I hope you can see it. You might just see barely some of it, but that's what the leg should look like. Straight ahead, ankle flexion, toes to the left. You are relying on that leg pressing into the mat to help relieve the stretch of the right side. If your arm does not make it all the way to the floor on the right side and your shoulder blade is not making it, don't worry about it. You could put a riser underneath it, a bed pillow or a couch pillow underneath it and hold it. You can rest your arm on your hip or your ribs and bring a little twisting weight here. If this extension is not available for you, that's one of the things that will come in time. Allow your muscles to stretch. You are supported. The floor has you. The strap has you. Your hand is bound to the strap. Everything is protected. Now within that protection, relax your body. "30 more seconds. 3 good breaths. What did the exhale do? It drew the tension out of the skull, drew the tension out of the muscles in the face. Soften your face. Soften your neck and shoulders. And when ready, squeeze the left leg. Really bring that kneecap up. Flex the left foot. Press it down into the floor. When it goes down into the floor, the left side floats up. Bend the left leg, pick up the hip, shift it over, and take a nice long leg straight ahead. This is very much a part of the opening and closing of the leg here. Straight ahead and press. Shift your hips, make a diagonal out of the hips rather than level. Press. And we will bring that foot back in, release the strap. What I'd like you to do here is bring up the knees, roll around a little bit. You still have an extension and a twist of part of the low back, not the very low back, but the upper low back. You still have a twist there, so you want to bring your knees up, roll around a little bit, really do a deep stretch there in the middle of the low back. So that's almost down by the sacral plate and the tendons that are down there. Remember, there's no muscle down there. That's all tendon. That's why it gets so tight. We're trying to loosen that up. And when you're ready and you've done enough little kind of massaging and rubbing and stretching, we'll take to the other side. Reshift your spine. Make sure everything is yummy and perfect. We'll do 2 sets. Again, it's about 2 minutes on each side. Place your foot inside the strap, and now we're going to see this side compared to the other side. Do you not feel how much looser this right side is compared to what you're starting now on your left? A big difference. Straighten the left leg, be all just right. If it's too much and your hands are so tight that your knee is bent and shaking, there's a little tremor, then just bring that knee up and put a nice flat foot on the floor. This is very stable too. When you are ready, inhale, prepare. Exhale, relax. One more. Inhale, prepare. This is the first time for this left side. Exhale, relax. Let your relaxation in that exhale swirl throughout the whole body. And then when you're ready, nice iron right leg stability and a nice floating left leg. Don't just put it down. Let it float and stretch it open slowly, slowly. Opposite arm can be on your hip, on your belly, up above you, out to the side. And the whole right side of the body is doing its best to send energy over to the right, away from that left side. Here now the right side of those horizontal hip muscles are getting stretched out. The ones that start from spine and go out to the hip or top of the leg bone. These are wonderful hip openers here. We're just doing it a side at a time. Let it sit in for about another minute. And what would squeezing the right glute do? That leg pole is long, so you have a energy for the glute muscles to squeeze a little bit. Did the squeezing of that and maybe the right side of core here and the abdominals, when you tighten that, did it kind of relieve or relax that left side a little bit? Super subtle, only you feel this. No one can see this. "30 more seconds, 3 more breaths. When you're ready, squeeze that right leg. Hug those muscles to the bone. Flex the ankles. Spread the toes. Ignite the muscles in your feet. Anywhere that you can call up power and energy on the body while you lift this huge lever back up to center. Bring up the right foot if it's not already out and you had a bent leg. Pick up the hips, shift it. Replace your left hand, take it away, replace with that right hand. Now here's where the leg needs to be long as you're taking it over the top, because if it's a bent leg, it's going to be in the way. So keep that nice long leg, flex the right ankle. You could put your elbow down to support this floating, or you could decide to go a little longer down the strap. You might be only a foot or so away from that bottom right foot. You don't have to be way up here. Flex and power on that right side. Rolled all the way over. Your right kneecap is kind of aiming toward that left heel. This may be, if you're not a practitioner for very long, we have a dominant side and a side that's weaker, a side that's stronger, one is looser, one is tighter, and so on. So if this is your less dominant side, this will be challenging. But I guarantee that do this 2 days a week, just in your home, stretching out your hips and your thighs will change. 30 more seconds for 3 more breaths. Breath is a little shallow here because of the twist of the diaphragm. Strengthen that bottom right leg. When you're ready, press that right leg into the mat, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that whole right side, lift up that left foot. I'm going to bring in the right leg, pick up that hip, and shift my spine into neutral. It was kicked to the left a little bit, plus twisting, because it gives us more stretch range. That's all it is. So are you ready? Make sure everything is just right. Move around. Take your own natural movement to this and go, nah, it doesn't feel quite right in the shoulders. Things are pinching. Flesh is folding. So moving around. When you're ready, you can certainly keep this knee up or straighten that leg. Here we go. Pick your exhale that opens up the left leg to the left. What a difference already. And that's only 2 sets. Imagine what your 3rd or your 4th set would be. This takes time. These are deep stretches. So I want you to be safe and not pull or tear or strain anything. Keep your range, and always have some prop by to catch that leg if you need it. You'll get a stretch here in the horizontal hip, much more so than if I bent the knee. But if you need to bend the knee, that's fine. It will come in time. This is a deeper stretch, extending that right leg out. Think of the hip flexors. You know, we sit all the time. We have this crease at the top of the leg. We TV, we radio, we drive, we eat. We are always creasing the top of the leg. So this becomes a really nice stretch, extending out these flexors here. About another minute. Power that right foot, toes toward the ceiling, if not, toes bent toward the heart. Keep your ankle flexed, keep your knee tight. This is great for people that are loosey-goosey in the joints because the straps around the knee joint are hugging and keeping that joint nice and strong. "30 more seconds with 3 nice breaths. Take that last exhale all the way to the bottom of the exhale. And when you are ready, fire up that right leg, straight or bent, either way, tighten it up. Inhale, squeeze as you lift the left leg. Shift the hip to the left. This is our last one. This would be the second set, but our last one of the second set. I do want to lengthen the right leg. Get it out of the way. Here you go. Control the descent. It's real important that you float and control that descent. If not, that lever is going to just take it right down. Gravity is going to swing that down, and you could easily have a pull, and we don't want that. So control the body. Take that right leg underneath you that is twisted and to the right. Make sure you have a nice strong right foot. That's the key to this whole piece, is that bottom foot. Seems like it's up here, right? Oh, the fancy foot and holding the strap, and it must be up here. This is up where my ego is, where I can see it, where I know it's there. We don't think about the foot that's down on the short line of the mat, far away from what we can feel and see. This is a distal piece here. But yet that's the key. Another minute. Breathe, release the tight, the tension. Let your belly be soft here. It will draw that twist a little deeper. So when we do these hip openers, we start out and then cross over to the opposite side. When you're ready, Squeeze that bottom leg, press it into the floor. That leg, that whole pole presses down into the mat, and the other pole floats up. Put your foot underneath you, pick up your hip, little mini bridge pose there for a moment. Drop the hip in. You can lengthen the leg or bend the right leg, but here we go. We got to remember this yummy piece. This is at the end of both sets. However, if you wanted to, you could put it in between. You could put it in between. Now, as you're along here, feel how that shoulder pulls away from the earlobe. You're really pressing the brake or the gas pedal here. Shift the hip. And then come on back. Let the strap go. Bring those knees up. Nice deep stretch. Here, move naturally. Rolling. Massaging, putting weight. Maybe you want a little core. You're going to go to the edge of the body. Oh, I don't want to go all the way over. Right? I'm going to go to the edge of this body. Oh, I'm going to counterbalance that. I don't want to take it all the way to the side in fetal posture. I'm just kind of hovering. That feels really nice. This is fascial rolling, and by doing this, you're kind of warming up some of that fascial tissue as well. It's not drying out and getting stiff. It gets the heat and hence the protein and collagen. It feels really nice. Alrighty, we're going to finish this session with very simple, it's really supine pigeon, but it's a wonderful hip opener. So this is one of the first times I'm in the same line you're in, so we can do the same side together. Often I'm mirroring you by facing the camera. So here we go. We're going to press this nice solid right foot in. Inhale, lift up that left leg. Turn out the knee just a little bit, little dancer turn. Exhale, lower that left foot, crossing over the right thigh. So you still want a good flexed foot here. And if you can get the heel, ankle and heel over the femoral bone, that's great. Don't put the heel up at the kneecap anywhere. If you can get it down a little lower, that's great. If that's all too much, I'd rather you have your foot in the inside so that this big heel bone is pushing into something that can handle it and not a joint. Here we go. Inhale, I'm going to just hover my left hand over that thigh. Exhale, I'm going to press the here stability, the more mobility on the left. 2 more times. Inhale, release it, let it swing back naturally. Exhale, press. 1 more time. Inhale, let it float back, and it's natural, like a gate is closing, but it's natural. Exhale, press. Make sure your hand is on the long bone of the leg, not on the knee. Now, inhale, float the right foot up. Your right foot coming toward your leg, coming toward your heart, is getting more stretch here. You can certainly come to shin, or you can come behind the leg and pull it a little bit closer towards you. However, this is nice too. I take the outside of my foot, my shin bone, and I bring the leg to me with a little aid of this leg. So here, underneath here, or binding the fingers and bringing the shin in. Inhale, take the right foot up to the sky. Maybe you're holding the back of that right leg. This is definitely a nice stretch in the hip, a hip opener, and pigeon, but we're just not on our belly. Exhale, lower down that right foot. Inhale, take up the left leg. I'm still in that little dancer turnout. It's very slight. Straighten the kneecap all the way around till the kneecap faces your nose, and then exhale, lead with the heel. If you want core, don't lower the heel. You can drop it on that floor if you want to, but you can also do that shift we just did with the strap. And then inhale, return your foot to the other foot. You're back together again. And 1 more side. Last side. Inhale. Up comes the right leg. Just here right now. On your exhale, turn it out. That sets a rotation in that hip so that when I draw my foot down, cross it over the left thigh, this hip is already in place. And again, make sure the heel bone is off the knee. It certainly can be in the femoral muscle or femoral bone. I can handle it. This femoral bone is like cement. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press gently right on the fleshy part of the inside of the thigh. Squeeze that left side. What happened when you press that left leg into action, right? You got a little bit more space for the right hip. 2 more. Inhale, release it a little bit. Let it swing back. You control this, not an instructor, not a machine. Press that open wherever it feels comfortable. If you're not an external rotator, you're going to feel bone on bone, so you stop right there. You know what it feels like inside your body. No one else does. Exhale, press that open, any range. Inhale, float the left foot up. Come slowly. You're now working down you started at the corner of the hamstrings, the back of the hip here, top of the leg, and now you're kind of coming into the center of the leg, starting to stretch closer, get closer to the groin. Now there goes this became my favorite after years, outside of the foot and outside of the shin here, pressing that toward me, or coming underneath, binding, bringing the leg in, using my elbow to push out that right thigh a little bit, or coming onto the shin, use the weave of the hands. You could also have a strap here. No reason not to be able to put a strap right there and create the length that is not available. Use that exhale, soften the body, let that stretch happen. Your belly wants to lift away in breath. Take the belly to the floor, to the spine. Let it just all kind of dissolve. And the more the belly comes toward the floor, the more stretch in that hamstring. Inhale, there goes that left foot. Float it up gently. Hold any part of the back of the leg, back of the thigh, back of the knee. Calf's a little bit of a reach. If your elbow's tucked into that right thigh, press that right hip open more. Use your body parts. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, lower that left foot down. You can bend the knee or go down with a straight leg. Inhale, here it goes. We're going to return this leg back to normal positioning, straight up into the air. Turn the knee. So you take that pole like a lathe and then you just turn it all the way until toe, ankle, knee, and hip are facing your face or your nose, and then exhale all the way down. Lead with your heel and go nice and slow. You can lower the heel on the carpet or mat, or you can go ahead and hover it, but shift it away. And now you've done everything opposite to counter an action in the hips. You didn't do too much of one thing and too much of another. Bring the foot back to you. Pick up the hips. This is the counter action to all that flexion of the hip and bringing your legs towards your heart and squeeze, 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 right? So we want this opening now. Wonderful little moment of bridge. You can stay here and love this. You can be up for a moment because you just wanted that moment counter action. Feels good. Stay longer. Challenging? Go to your challenge line and then come away. Exhale as you lower the thoracic spine down. Let's let these legs rest now. They've been working. You've been stretching and strengthening the body.
So take your heels to the corner of your mat. Bring your hands right under your belly. Couple of nice relaxing breaths here. Feel how symmetrical the body is, how even. Thank you for practicing yoga for the hips. Namaste.